Hello, welcome to another episode of Building the Milton Valley Railroad. Today, we're going to be building the Milton Valley Railroad. Hello, Kangafango. Mr. W, hello to you as well. Right, so actually I need to mute that because that is not muted. 1 second. There we are. Great. Okay, so let's switch over. Here we are. This is what we worked on last time, namely, well, mostly building this yard, or rather the yard ladder. Make us cool, hello, welcome. We're only just starting. So that's what I want to work on today. I want to put in the passenger station, and I want to put in a track for the cabooses. I want to put in a water tower, and maybe a cooling tower. I'm not sure about that one yet. And, well, let's see how far we get. Yes, hello. Are you expecting a guest tonight? I'm not sure. If you mean VC, like you notice I'm tired and I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so let's get started with placing the station. Now the station, of course, needs to go onto the main line. Oh, the second camera. Oh, right. Yeah, you forgot to turn that one off. It's hot. Yes, it is hot. Okay. My cat got me up, and I'm gonna have to get used to waking up at 5 a.m. You mean because of your cat, or because of work or something? Didn't even see it until it disappeared. Well, you're just quite used to it, apparently. Okay, so I want to get the station asset that I used here, because I think there was a different one in that same kind of group of assets that might fit quite well here. CNR. Let's see. Nope, that's too small. Still small. Let's just have a look through some of these. Yep, apparently it has. I didn't see it either. There's this one. That's way too small. This one might work. Although it has got 4 tracks. Size-wise, it looks good. I suppose if I put the 2 tracks of the main line onto the outer 2 tracks, then I could create 2 more sidings to fit with this one if we are going to use this station. Because if high school, I have to be by the building where they pick us up at 6:45 a.m. Oh, I see. Oh, you use the station as well. Nice. Right. Jesus, that's only 60 minutes later than when I get up in the morning. Okay, let's see if I rotate this object a little bit more. like that perhaps. Will that work? There it is. That Stratford station looks great, but I'm not sure if passengers can load unload correctly on the CNR stations. Well, that doesn't matter that much, because in sessions I can just do it with navigation markers. It doesn't actually have to load unload the commodity. Oops, missed a few. You mean about the rain? Actually, no, 1 second. No, the weather just gotten really hot, yes. You had an incident with a cat recently. Oh, yes, you mentioned. You mean the cat that isn't yours, but that was just in your room. Right. Oh, below that. Even hearing that time makes me uncomfortable on a cellular level. That's the only one. Below your Jesus one, I've only got Kango's message, which is the one I read about the Stratford station, and then your one about the time, unless you mean something else. Yep, cat climbed in through the window and decided to come inside. Third time that cat's come in. Oh, I see. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, well, if we are going to use the station, I mean, I really want to use this one because it just fits so well. Okay, so that means that I will have to change a little bit here. I mean, this track here is okay, but the other one needs to move in a little bit further. So I'll have to manually readjust the curves so that it still is somewhat aligned. So yeah, because as you can see, the curve is going a little bit too far out. On this side it's not too bad, but on the other one it's quite noticeable. So I just need to move this one in a little bit like that. Actually, does the water spout on this work? Does it have a... Oh, it does have water. Interesting. Okay, well, let's have a look at this. Because I know that there are some interesting designs of passenger stations in this book as well. Here we are. 1 second. Okay, so yeah, they've got... Hold on, this is a little dark. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, so they've got... Well, here they've got express and mail terminals with extra station or with extra sidings where the different cars can be dropped off and then coupled up to other trains as they come through. So for them to be transferred between trains. However, that's because that is at an intersection where different lines come through, whereas this is pretty much on a through line only at the moment. And it doesn't split up in this direction either. So I don't think that that would be too useful. Perhaps a track for a mail car drop-off or something like that. So we could have maybe a siding or something here like that for it. Right. A fly screen as opposed to a cat screen? I guess maybe that would work. It's just hot and uncomfortable at night now, which probably goes a bit towards explaining the lack of sleep and feeling uncomfortable at last night. Yeah, true. Also, I did almost read that as sheep at first. Ooh, a book. Story time. No, not story time. Design time, as you can see. Yeah, right. The lack of sheep last night, yeah. Would also make sense with the whole counting the sheep thing to make peeps, mostly kids, fall asleep. Wonder where the idea of counting sheep as a way to get to sleep came from. Is it just that it's so boring? Probably, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Lack of sheep means a lack of sleep. True. They remind you of a hump yard? The tracks? Interesting. They are level. Maybe it's because they're on a curve. It looks like they're going uphill a bit more. They wouldn't count something. You wouldn't count something that was sentient, like cups or something. Then wouldn't you count? True. But the thing with sheep is, it's sheep jumping over a fence, isn't it? So that's a movement, a thing that you can count that's happening, not just counting the number of something, but the number of an action. But why not sentient beings? Kind of looks like one up in Waterville, Maine. Right? I was saying that it's not just counting sheep, it's counting sheep jumping over a fence, though. So you're not just counting the number of a certain thing, how many there are, you're counting an action that you're picturing in your head as well. An action that is repeated over and over and over again. Right. How about counting jigsaw pieces? Yeah, but the movement of the sheep surely makes it worse, as you're watching something, doing something, and your brain is slightly more engaged with it. Well, the thing is, it would be a bit difficult counting something like how would you picture that? Like cups, counting cups. If you close your eyes, would you just imagine a shelf that has cups on it? Just a shelf that has an infinite amount of cups on it if you look left and right, and then you're walking along, counting them 1, 2, 3, going on like that, picturing them? Or is it like on a conveyor belt where the cups are moved over so that you can count them, but then you've still got movement in either case? The thing with sheep is they walk into frame by themselves as you're imagining it, so then you can easily count the number. Because if you're counting cups and you get to like 300, then how would you picture that? What scene would you picture that has 300 cups in it? Plus, at the beginning of counting, when you were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, then were you already picturing like a room or a shelf or any sort of space that has thousands of cups in it, even though you hadn't counted to that number yet? You can see how that could get a bit more confusing. Yeah, I've known some people use that whilst studying. What is it? White noise, yeah. The white noise is fox snoring and the fan going. Read the sheep cupped bait. Moving knobs. Picture a cat flicking cups off a shelf one by one on a moving platform and fall asleep to it. So you mean just a cat on a platform with a conveyor belt of cups going by and the cat knocking them off one by one. Hello, Slovak Eagle, welcome. How are you? Doing alright. You? Good, good. Yes. Finally working a bit more on this route after it wouldn't work last time because of the database rebuild. Putting in the passenger station. Oh no, a cat wouldn't work for me now. I'm scared ever since the incident. Scared as card, sorry. The mess reminds me of the picture book I've designed, only the outside of it, for my Project Frog Cup game. Ah. Okay, so that's alarmingly adorable. Yeah, I've got to move this a little bit closer to the other track. And I've got to fix the curve a little bit by moving this over slightly as well. Oh yes, and this bit as well, because this of course is continuing along the curve, so that would not work otherwise. So just sort of like that. That seems a little sharp there. What if I just got rid of those two spline points? So it's just a smooth curve on like that. I think that's best. Also, kind of Fango, did you get my Discord message? Right. My dad used to hunt bobcat. Well, I have not. And I'm quite happy about the fact that I have not. Okay. So, now let's connect this up on the other end. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, I know, I've got to put in a crossover. I've not forgotten that. It's not that difficult putting this in on a curve when I've got the curve on the right track here to kind of align it to, because that way I don't really have to worry about preserving the arc of the curve too much, because I can just look at the track to see if I am or not. Okay, let's get the track height here, apply it over there. Apply it everywhere I can. Also, anyone have any suggestions for good deck building games? Either video games, offline, not PvP if possible, or physical? No, sorry, I don't play those usually. In fact, I can't remember playing one of those. It's a nice cold breeze, the birds chirping, so nice and beautiful. Ah, that does sound very nice. Where I am, it's evening, and soon it will be night. Okay. Birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming. Ah, yes, good. Okay, let's draw the ballast on, and then we'll see what I still need to add to the station. Yes, I haven't forgotten the caboose track. Wait, is that 10 meter grid size? Hold on. Oh, it is. Ah, in that case, let's... Oh, I can't undo it because... Well, let me just draw it over then again. Arrival. Yes, I saw that film. Arrival? Yes. I've been looking through, and I've found a couple of free ones so far. Nice. Although with free games, you've got to be careful of microtransactions and things like that, because that's what they'll do often. Claim it's free, and then actually you will find out that it was not free. Okay, so as for the caboose track, that's of course going to go all the way on the left. And I think, let's see. I'll have a quick look here. There was a section on, hold on, what's this? Wait, no, that's the hump yard. I was looking for flat yards. 1 second. Ah, there we are. Okay. Actually, that's a point. Do we want a turntable up here as well? Yeah, so they've got, on this, they've got the caboose track. On that example, the yard was split into two, but the caboose track they've got near the entrance of the yard. So as the train comes in, it's either there's a little for a little track for a switcher to come in, take the caboose off and put it away, or for the train to just reverse in a little bit. For the thing with the switcher is probably easier, but then you've got to think about doing it on either side. Although I suppose if it's a through track anyway, then that should work. Although I should have it come in very near the ending of the sidings, because that way, if a train comes in here and it just fits in, then if the junction was over here somewhere, then it would be blocking it. Okay. So actually, I'll put in a little siding for a switcher over here, which could be useful. Although that's no, I need to put that in on the lead, because if I don't put it in on the lead, then it wouldn't have access to all the tracks if it needed to. Let's just put it in here. Yeah, there's microtransactions, boo. Yeah, also, I believe Euro Truck Simulator 2 and Micro Truck Simulator have free demos on Steam too. Oh, I was unaware. Oh, I bit my lip during dinner and I now have a blister. Unfortunate, but it does happen. Sorry to hear. Aw. Yeah, almost. Yeah, the most important thing about that is to not bite yourself on it a second time. Yep. Yes, which I haven't done this time as I'm not eating, but I have done in the past. Not fun. Yep. I remember hearing about a yard in Portland, Maine called Rigby Yard. It was pretty big. Interesting. In Portland, Oregon, there are 2 in the USA that I'm aware of. Probably haven't spelled it right. You have. Yeah. There's the Portland in Maine, the Portland in Oregon, I believe. Was it Washington? No, I think it was Oregon. And then you've got the Portland, in Dorset as well. Okay, so we've got that coming over there. So next... Okay, let's have the junction for the caboose track coming off over here. And let's have a little bit of space between these ones for crews to come in and such. And then let's join that over onto there. And should that be straightened? No, let's not straighten that yet. Let's just put in a spline point there. Then put in another spline point there that we connect to... Oh, you've been there. Yeah, how was it? Straighten that. I know, I've still got to put junctions and all this stuff. Like actual switch levers. And then let's put in another little track over here, also for a switcher. So that if we've got a train coming in, the switcher can get out of the way for it, on whatever side it's needed. I don't think I want to have much in terms of servicing up here, because we do have a roundhouse here with a siding in case any car does need servicing or things like that. Plus this really isn't meant as a big hub or anything like that. Also, Mr. W, I've heard that if you chew a leaf of this plant and get it in over onto the injury, it heals very quickly, and they're found all over UK. Plantago laqueota. Oh, right, that. Pretty busy sometimes, and the mall is kind of nice, and it's by the ocean. Yeah, I've heard a similar thing about dock leaves and splinters. There's Portland and Rockland, Maine. Right. Okay. So what am I missing anything obvious? Hold on. Let me look. I'm just glad that I've good eyesight. Got good eyesight, because you would not be able to read that otherwise. It's black on blue, which is difficult to read with good lighting conditions. 1 second. Well, I mean, we could have an arrival departure track, but I mean, we could just use the longest siding for that. And then there's also a runaround track for the whole yard, basically, which I sometimes include in my yards, not always. Like here, I could include one on the other side of the, okay. I could put in another junction over here somewhere, move this back a little bit, and then have a track going all the way around the outside, connecting back up over there. But I just don't think it's necessary for what this yard is supposed to do. I think if we just keep this shortest siding clear, then you can run around without fouling the main pretty easily. Let's see. Okay. Right. Nice. Let's have a look. I want to have a look at the link. No, don't go up. 1 second. There we are. Oh, that. Yeah. I look at pictures of train yards in Maine. For what? For your Trainz routes? There are over 20 cities named Portland in the US. Also in UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Ireland and Jamaica. It is quite a common name for a city. Hello. Yes. Welcome. Right. You know, for articles like that, I wish they just started with, no, yes, here's why. So if you're just looking for the answer rather than an explanation, you don't have to scroll through the article. Well, if they did that, then people would see the ads less, and the ads are how sites like that often get their revenue. So it's really in their best interests if people see as many ads for as long as possible on that site. Or rather, to increase the chances of them clicking on an ad and then buying something from it. Right. And I build something similar to the pic. Oh, right, yes. Yeah, I remember doing that as well. Not with Portland or yards like that, of course, but other railways, other aspects of railways. Move the link up. Ha. Well, too late. I had already read it. Comes calling. The via anscom. Approximately 5 seconds pause. Oh, lake flattened out. Now to build something. What do you mean? Okay. Lake flattened out. Now to build something. Oh, in Minecraft. Are you playing Minecraft? You mean the little pond by your house you were mentioning? Boo. You scared us. Ghost lady, is that you? I think Ghost Lady made like an indirect appearance in one of my recent streams. I think in the archive of one of them. But I really don't have details at the moment that I want to give you. Yes, Minecraft. And no, not the same world. This is a purely creative one, rather than survival peaceful. Right. This Monday, Showdays? Maybe. I couldn't say. I think she was playing in the world with us, just on a different plane. And I think a little bit of her experience of that kind of maybe seeped through a bit. I honestly don't know. Well, I shouldn't say honestly when I don't mean it, but I honestly mean it that I do not mean it. God, the archive's long time ago. What do you mean, which archive? Where? As if he's gonna tell you. I think so. Yeah. Which one? Eh? Indeed, which one? I thought he said that the Ghost Lady one was just this Monday. I mean, that could be the case. Okay, let's just place some switches here. I know, I'm just placing the basic ones, the temporary ones, that's the word I wanted to use. So the most recent one on the YouTube channel. He has got a YouTube channel, by the way. Go subscribe if you haven't. Thank you. The stream or the archive 2 days back. Okay, 2 days back. Yeah, the archive. Although I think it really only showed up in the archive. Hark! Yeah, promotional errands. Hark is one of those words that's not used very often anymore. If you don't know what it means listen. Elsinore, welcome! How are you? It has been a while. Good afternoon, evening, Saturdays. Good evening to you too. I also hear the sound of an ARG. Archive went up yesterday. Yes. Or some sort of lore. Okay, so I think that is probably good. This already has a water spout built in. That's for like a mail car. Got plenty of tracks for passenger trains, so that they're not blocking up everything. We've got a caboose track. We've got the yard ladder. I think that's probably it, unless we want to put another turntable up here someplace. Which, I mean, if we want to have this be a terminus for passenger trains, then having a turntable up here would be quite good. So, for multiplayer sessions, I think that could be quite useful, so that you don't have to go all the way down there. Plus, that's a bit of a short turntable down there anyway. So, if on a multiplayer session, the train would come from back there, come in here, so the engine would be on this end. Then, I think if I just have a little bit of track coming over this way with a diamond, then putting the turntable over here, I think that could work really quite well. Of course, I'd need to find a large enough turntable. That is not a large enough turntable. Also, it was 2 turntables. People can be formal. I mean, I personally don't really call people sir or ma'am, but different people like calling people different things. It would be interesting if Discord had a button in the gift chooser called random. True. Good to hear. So, is the Milton train map based in UK or US? US, yes. Milton Valley Railroad. Ah, this seems like a good turntable. Where are the attachment points? Oh wait, is this one of those where I've got to... this might be one of those where you have to attach the different segments. Yeah, with this tub. Hold on, I thought I'd... Oh, yeah. So if I have this, rotate that, and can I place that onto here? Did that work? Yes, but not very well. Hold on. So the way some of these turntables work is that you place the actual turntable asset, and it'll have loads of connectors like these, and you have to place the stub asset, which looks like that, and then move that to snap onto one of those endings, which means that it should be rotated the right way. So perhaps like that, maybe? It can be a bit difficult to see. Hold on, let me quickly turn on or turn off the where is it? Interface? Limit contextual information. Here we are. So if I just take this and then rotate it like that and try to snap it on here like that. See, it's now just snapped on like this. I can also try to snap it on here. So if I snap it on like that, and that should theoretically work. And then it'll stay snapped on like that. I was raised to be a southern gentleman. A man, I'm really tired. I'm guessing that's southern US? Probably yes. You have permission to sleep private, but not forget the no squad private policy? I'm not sure that applies to anyone outside of your squad. From Alabama. Okay, I just hope that the gauge is right for this. Yes, it is. Good. So, I mean, this should be long enough to fit most locos that come in here. So, how would this work regarding freight trains, though? I mean, so if a freight train comes in here, then the locomotive would have to go all the way out here, then all the way over here to get out onto the main line, all the way back here, and then it would be far too far away from the turntable. So I think, I think perhaps having a connection over here might be useful. Dun, da, dun, da, dun. Dun, da, dun, da, dun. Oh no, square. Oh right, not squad. My mistake. Sorry. It's because I'd already read the word private, and so I had associate to do it with that. My grandfather worked on the LNN in the 1950s and 60s. Interesting. Turntable should be on the other side of the yard, not coming off station. Yeah, that's what I thought as well. But the thing is, I think it'll mostly... Well... I think I'll have more passenger trains terminating here. Although I suppose, if I'm thinking about this from an in-universe perspective, then yeah, it should go on the other side. Even if from a session perspective, it might be more useful over here. Okay, so I'll move it over. I think that might be a good place for it. And yeah, sometimes the stubs will detach, and so you've got to reattach them. And that was back in the 20s and 30s, I think. What do you mean? Alright, my grandfather worked on the Eastport branch of the Main Central. Ah, I've not heard of that. Louisville and Nashville Railroad. Ah. Interesting, yes. Oh yeah, Shadice. Curse you for hiding switches behind vases. Switches behind vases? I have no idea what you could possibly mean. Also the buttons. Everyone, the boss says he wants it moved over, start up the crane. Also, that is the first time I've seen that emote. Okay, so actually, if I moved it back a bit, I could maybe connect it up to there. And there is a little bit more space down here. So if I move it to maybe like here, rotated it a little bit, then I do have to reattach the stub. Oh, yes. What do you mean? Oh, yes. Okay, now connect that up to here. And I will have to test to see if this actually does work, because I know with some of these assets, it looks like it's attached, but it just derails the train anyway. Oh, buttons. Well, that makes it that makes it all right then. But I finally managed to find the final Merc in Act 1, World 2. Not managed to get all the bonus ones though. Ah, yeah. I see, well done. Move it a tad further toward the river and add a retaining wall around the outside. Well, I'm gonna have a retaining wall here anyway. Chilling. Okay, very nice, yes. Okay. So I'll come on here, then it'll get turned around. Let's put a quick switch on here. Okay. Right, so we'll have to see how that will blend into the scenery. We might have to put some grass, plants, or things around it, or maybe some things like that. Hammer? What do you mean? A sledgehammer? Oh, right, bonk, I see. Okay. Yeah, that seems good. And I suppose a water tower over here would also fit quite well. Just over by the turntable. Even though... yeah, because the other one really wouldn't be that useful for freight trains coming through. A fish, a goldfish, a mouse. Yeah. Peter Gabriel. Trains terminate here. You should probably add locomotive services. They shouldn't terminate here. That's the thing. In universe, most trains will continue off. So most trains, not off, through, sorry. In universe, most trains will continue through the main line going that way, or coming from there and continue through over to the big city. It's just because the actual route in Trainz, from a gameplay perspective, doesn't continue past there. That's the end. I'm not going to build any further here. Trains in the multiplayer sessions, for example, will have to terminate here, whether they're passenger or freight. So even though in scenarios, in the session that I'll make for it, trains will most likely either come here as a local to drop some stuff off here or to pick up stuff from down here, or they'll just drop off a few cars and then continue on to wait at a signal over here or something like that, where the session will end. In multiplayer stuff, we can't really do that well, which is why I want to have all the facilities here for trains to terminate here, to turn around. But I don't really want servicing facilities or stuff like that here. It's not supposed to be that big of a area. Made a song called Sledgehammer. Ah, I see. Right. I've not seen those animations, nope. Wait, there's a big city? Yes. Down here, on this end of the route. It's not finished yet. Hold on, let's just let it load in. So you've got the kind of the fringes of it here. And then as it comes in here, you've got an industrial area on one side. Then you've got a big yard over here with more industry and things like that, factories, offices over here. It's just not loaded in properly yet. It's still loading assets in. So you've got that, and then more kind of a commercial area over on this side as the line continues along this way. And the plan is for it to continue for a few more baseboards through the city to a terminus. Check out Babylon, the only one I've really seen so far. I might do that. If you would like to send me a link to something or a reference to that on Discord, then that would be appreciated. There's also a Comedy Satire TV cop sitcom show called Sledgehammer. Yeah, that is quite funny. Okay, I see. Pretty cool city. Thank you. Spent a long time, a long time on it. Yes. Anyway, let's see. What do I need to do next? Well, I guess next would be, it might be good to figure out where the kind of main road connections are going to be, because with the kind of main town being over in this area, yeah, that's probably a good next step. Right, sure. Well, I do want the one without the overtake. Right, so step one, how are cars going to get down to this industrial area? Well, cars and trucks, I should say. The answer is ideally something like that, and then having a bridge coming over the tracks here, coming down the other side. So let's get one of those bridges. I think I had one over here. I'll send the link over now. You want one too, Kango? Raise hand. Right. I'm gonna see you later and hope the rest of the stream goes well. Thank you. Have a restful night. Bye-bye. Okay, so I just realized it takes me about an hour or so to do a 1x1 grid and have to put a lot of detail into my maps. I mean, it depends on what is in that baseboard. If it's just forest scenery, then it doesn't take that long because most of it's just copy-pasted anyway. If it's in a city, then it can take quite a while. Don't worry, the height isn't permanent yet. Let's get... which one's is taller? The loco? Actually, no. Let's get the double stacks. Didn't we have double stacks up here somewhere to measure the height with? They might be up by Silver Falls. And don't forget to dream about bobcats knocking cups off a conveyor belt. Here they are. I knew they were up here. Rather, I guessed they were up here. Okay, so let's put one of them down here. Load it up. There we go. That's the bottom one. Now I need the top one. Okay, so we can lower this down quite a bit. Not that far though. Or I suppose we could have an underpass for the road. Ah, look, we've got plenty of space there. Look at that. That's a good few inches. Yeah, I mean, an underpass might... I suppose I could maybe make this be a little bit of a cutting. Anyway, if I raise the terrain up a little bit higher over on this side. Although that doesn't look too bad like this. What if I applied the terrain height like that? What would that look like? Actually, let's undo that because I need to move this over slightly to create a bit of a better bend. Actually, I quite like that. I would not want to be in a speed-like scene on top of a double stack well car. No, I would not want to be in a scene like that, period. No matter what speed it's going. Dun, 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 dun. 1 second, let me just see. Fair point. Yeah. Or the Yug. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Okay, so this is going to be our main connection down here, and how we're actually going to connect this up will depend on where we're going to place our actual buildings. Like, for example, over here, this is a general goods unloader, I believe. So that's, of course, going to have a warehouse, and then maybe the road connecting over like that. And then if we've got this, it might just carry on and then come over like that as well. But that's a thing we can figure out later. It's just important to have an actual connection down here. Cue Runaway Train, 1985 soundtrack. Wait, is that the one from... Wait, is that the train in the snow with the prisoners who escape? Or do you mean or is that the Thomas song, The Runaway Train? The dun 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 dun. Oh, what do you mean? Yes, the Alaskan prisoner escape. Ah, yes. I have seen that film. I've seen that one actually. I don't watch TTT. Well, at least you got the number of T's correct. And both the Silver Streak movies. Yeah, those two Silver Streak movies are very different from each other. Oh my god, you don't watch TTT Eagle? No. That is completely understandable. I do not. Okay, so... yeah, to each their own, of course. So actually this needs to come over a little bit more to meet the road. Yes. Okay, so we've gone for about an hour. What have we done? Put in a few tracks, a station, turntable, and a little part of a road. Good. That's about right, enough for an hour, I think. Okay, so that road then needs to, of course, continue over this way. And then... alright, you must be off. Another charity stream. Oh, have fun. Bye-bye. Huh, pretty good show until the hit era and the CGI. And blah, 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 blah. Anyway, yep. I agree. The first few seasons I really like, mostly because of just how charming everything looks, and the music with every character having a different song as well. Anyway. Yep, sounds like an hour's worth of work. Anyways, here is Modest Attractions. Oh. Here's Modest Attractions. Bye-bye. Okay, so if this is going to be the main road... Oh, the chat, yes. If this is going to be the main road through the town, I want this to kind of head up here, and then maybe go around like that up here, so something like this. Although, to be honest, I think I like the idea better of the road carrying on straight over here, which, of course, this is too steep. But I do really like the idea of having a bit of a valley going back here. So maybe a little bit more terraforming, but I'll say first. And what about the cat? Wait, no, we already had that earlier. The main road does not have enough grids and too many turns. Yeah, it's not finished. Okay, so let's move this further down like that, so it's a little bit flatter for the road. And I want there to be a little bit of space over here as well for houses to go along this valley, because I really want this to feel like a bigger town. However, I don't want to actually make a bigger town. Yeah, because that would just take ages, because we know how long it takes to make a town, especially on a hill. So what I plan to do is have the main road go up here, and then as you're looking along it like this, have buildings either side of this, and maybe another parallel road or something like that, but with a lot of trees between, so that even though I place houses, I don't have to put a lot of detail in to save time and resources, because of course saving performance is an important thing as well. Grids? Yeah, I think you meant like city blocks. Do you mean as in spline points, or what do you mean? I think you meant like as in city, like grid blocks of buildings. Yeah, city blocks. Okay, so if that is the main road like that, then having a parallel road kind of going along something like that. Although maybe having it connect up here would be a good idea, so that it comes over like that and then maybe connects up like this. In which case this road really doesn't need to just continue straight onto there. And then we're probably going to have some buildings along here as well. So having another intersection there would be good. That's probably a bit too far away. What do you miss? Just me placing road mostly. Doing city planning or town planning. And for chat messages concerning roads and C-blocks. and with the latter, the lack of therefore thereof. Yes. Okay, just something akin to this. Maybe a few less spine points in here, actually. Or like that. And then this needs to start turning a little bit earlier. I always tend to make these roads be too far apart for the buildings, I find. It's like from all the way up here, I always imagine the buildings being much larger than they actually are. Like even the gap here might be a bit too big, but who knows. Do you think the UK can get gold? Yes. Especially in the north. Well, or even the Midlands. I mean, it's really only the coastal areas, especially in the south, that tend to stay fairly warm throughout the year. Because of the Gulf of Mexico. It gets way colder in northern Maine. It does. Maine, it gets in the low negatives. It's better to make one road, detail it, and then move to the next one. Perhaps. But the thing is, I want to see how much detail I'm going to put in. And for that, I need to really see how many parallel roads I want to have. Like, if I just had the main road going up like that, and then put lots of detail around there, then build the next road onto it, then it could be that I put a lot of detail around here because I don't think that I'm going to need to put that much town here. But then if it turns out that you're actually going to see a lot of it, then I kind of have to continue with that level of detail. Otherwise, it'll stick out. Town hall, church, suggestions. Okay, well, let's see what this would look like. Commercial shops, residential. Dinner or diner? A helipad? Helipad, yes, of course. Wouldn't want to miss out on that. Okay. So if this is empty, under construction, otherwise. Plaster and Sons. Okay, well, and then we of course need to have roads connecting like that as well. In which case, actually, we probably need to have this road just continuing straight through like that, and then have these ones coming through like this, or something like that. Maybe have a couple more, have this one coming over like that as well. Maybe something like this, because I really do want this to feel a bit larger. Even though I don't necessarily want to build it a bit larger. Actually, no, that's not a good idea. 1 second. There we are. A Bigfoot in the woods for an Easter egg? Would be what? Oh, Easter egg. Oh, right. Psst. Yeah, it really would be a good idea. Would. I mean, it could be that the truth is already on the map. Who knows? A tooth? Well, yes, because there are people on the map and they have teeth, but I meant the truth. Okay, so I think I want to do work on this area first and then connect it down to the station and things like that. So let's fill in. Actually, is that the right color? Hold on, I need to find the right color. So let's fill in those few baseboards with grass texture, and then let's find right houses. I mean, I'm probably going to use, for that area up there and the outer area, I'm probably going to use the same houses that I've used before, because that is kind of the asset palette for this route. But I might use some more kind of downtown-y assets over in this area for more kind of, or maybe I could have more shops in along the central street or something like that. Wait. Oh yeah, of course. You can't fill in the texture in that menu anymore. That was not a good idea to remove that. Okay, current section only. Yes, that is what I wanted. Right. But wait, is that the correct? No, I want to actually replace the scale as well. And over here, oh, I could add that to my map, and when I build it, cause Calais tracks go in a heavily wooded area. Nice. I commend the asset called People Yeti. Wait, what is there such a thing? What do you mean? Wait. Yeah, there is on the DLS, I think, or it's built in, I don't know. But yeah, it is called People Yeti. It's been it's been available for the game since, I think, ever since that Swiss winter map was a part of the game. Ever since then, that has been a part of it as well. Used to come with the game. It's been on the list for 10 plus years. Holy old. Probably around 20 years. Gosh. Interesting. A long time ago. In a galaxy really quite close. Time is relative. Right, so I'm just putting in some spline points here so that I can align the terrain to the spline of the crossroads as well, because otherwise they would just be a bit too bumpy. Even though I know they're still quite bumpy, but I really don't have to smoothen out much of this, because you're not really going to see that much detail here anyway. And if you do, then, well, I'm not going to put that much detail in, so... yeah, so how's everyone doing tonight? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, so I think I'll put down kind of the more shopping street, the more shopping buildings first. In which case, right, just so that I can better see which road it is. I mean, ideally, like maybe a 4-lane road would be used for that, but there are going to be trees over here anyway, plus the tracks are lower down, so you're not really going to see it, and that is would add so much more to the time needed to do this. I'm feeling tired and alone, like always. Aww. But you've got your friends with you a lot of the time, and that's good. Okay, let's get these ones. Downtown buildings. Wait, are these the same? No, these are industrial, aren't they? Yeah, those are industry. Okay, so I'll place one of these buildings over here. Actually, hold on, I think I'm using... Yeah, I want to switch over to the other road because I want to use the one with sidewalk here. I completely forgot about that. You forgot about me, I forgot about that. I want to use this one. Over here. Hopefully I can replace those. In selected area, actually I've got to move, put these in first. And in selected area, I want basically from there all the way to here. Can you replace these? Yes. Great, it replaced them. And I might replace this down here as well with it. Clay main? Oh right, they're in clay. Here's a question. Are pedestrianized non-traffic shopping streets common in the US? I don't know. Here in the UK they're quite common. Well, going by movies that I've seen, I really only remember a few of them in like cities. Never heard of it. No. Yeah, but here it is really quite common where you have a main street, like where it's closed to traffic. They've got bollards there. And it like only opens up at night for access to the shops and things like that. Okay, so if I have this... Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we are. If I have this as kind of the main street, at least up to some point up here, then I can have houses on the outside there, or maybe just houses up there or something like that. Actually, it might be quite a good idea to have smaller buildings on this thing, so that on this side of the road, so that you can actually look over them a little bit better to see what is beyond. One second. Wish I could go to the UK. Well, why can't you? All you'd really need is a passport and enough money. And time. Time would also help. Sounds like a pretty nice place. I mean, I think so. I live here. One second. Okay. How does that look from down here? Actually, that looks quite nice. The kind of stepped nature of this, going from shorter up and up and up and up like that, I think fits quite nicely with the angle from down below. And my fam don't have the money because we went to New Hampshire and we don't have our passports right now. Yes, that would be a bit of a problem. 1 second, let me just... The stream... Is the stream okay? It looks like it's buffering quite a bit over here. Is the stream okay? Did you hear my question or not? Maybe rent a kayak and hop the pond for a short visit. Hahaha. Stream is fine. Okay, great. Good. Okay, good. Right, that was probably just on my end. Thank you. Okay, so... Ooh, actually that could look quite nice. Just having an entire side of a block of these buildings attached. I do quite like that, but I need to put buildings down here that would actually allow you to see some of that. Sure, this would look so nice. It would look so nice if one block was just a big construction site, like if we were building foundations of a large building. Perhaps, but I don't think that you're really going to see it up here. Maybe if I extend the town over here a little bit, like which I could easily see be the case if I extend it over here a little bit more. We're back gonna call Fox and Ava. Well, I hope that they're at their phones. Large buildings, one block. Yep. Cranes and such. I know what you mean. Yeah. Tall cranes and such. I know what you mean. Yeah, this is probably a good building to put in here as well. Well, I'm not sure if you're able to... you can see that still a little bit, especially if you look through there. If I leave this kind of angle open to view from. It's not easy to find shorter buildings. I suppose I could always use one of these ones. Actually, that one is quite short by itself. I was going to say I could use one of these ones and then move it down into the ground a bit, but I suppose that is already quite short. And maybe put in another one, but just turn the other way so that it still fits architecturally, but it doesn't look like I've just copy-pasted the building. If you add strings stretching across the road with lights, I don't really think that would be too fitting here. We use flags on sides of the buildings. I don't really want to go into that much detail. I really want to keep the detail to a minimum over here. Few tree planters on the sidewalk. Again, I really just want to keep the detail to a minimum. I keep saying it, but it's true. Because the more detail I put in here, the longer it will take to build. And this map has already taken so much longer to build than I had previously thought, and that's okay. I've had a lot of fun building it, and a great community has grown around, mostly centered around this project, and so I am really happy with that. However, I still want the project to get finished in the foreseeable future. And so if I can spare some time on areas that the player isn't really going to see by not putting in that much detail, then I will do that. Especially also to save performance, because again, this is down by a yard where there probably are going to be quite a few cars on the tracks as well. Lots of rolling stock and things like that, which will eat into performance. And so the less detail I put in here, just generally the better. I'm probably just getting these ideas from having played ATS recently. Yeah, that's fine. And I like the ideas. I'm just retaining my right to say no with reason. Mostly centered around this project. Points at myself for breaking things up with random routes. But no, that's good. That is good. It keeps things a bit fresh, because if it were only the Milton Valley Railroad, then I can definitely see that getting a little boring for people. But freshening it up with other routes to showcase or multiplayer streams on Trainz or things like that is good. Plus it's fun for me anyway. That building, I'm not too sure if that fits. I think that's a bit too large. I think maybe that would be better if I turned it like that and used it like this. Bro Fox said I'm driving and never was asleep. Driving what? A car. It's a Toyota RAV4, I think. I have no idea. And stream died, maybe? Oh, it's back. All good. Phew. Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. It looked like it was freezing up a little bit. But the distribution, or no, the Chicago City distribution route probably wouldn't have turned out as well, looking as good without these assets. Okay, so I think that's probably as far as I want to use these. I'll probably want to have them, some of these buildings over on this side of the road as well, and then probably residential over on that side. Although I do want to use lower assets over here as to not obstruct the view too much. Back now, that was odd. The stream just froze and I had to reload the page multiple times. Yeah, there seems to have been an issue with that. Okay, so I think, yeah, I do want to keep a little bit of an open space here so you can look through and see those red brick buildings, because I really like that. I think Kango's tapped on your internet cable. I see. That would be quite an interesting turn of events. I'm back. Welcome back. I think this building might be a bit too tall for here. Though maybe not. If I have this area be green and open, then I can have buildings like this here and it wouldn't really hurt too much. You mean hopped? Nah, it's probably just a transport malfunction. Ha 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 ha. Hello, welcome back. Sorry about that. It apparently... Oh yeah, the stream is in a few bits. Hello. Hello, Mr. Snipes. Yeah, sorry, look at OBS here. That was red at 0. My internet just dropped out for a bit there. Teleports on and off your cable. Isn't UK internet kinda funny? What do you mean? Depends on if you look up jokes on it or not. Hello? Hello! That was shocking. For a moment, Twitch said you were offline. I was. It wasn't uploading. It wasn't streaming. I just set up my almost free head tracking for Truck Sim. Ah, have you tried it out yet? Not sure that I like that with the space there. I think I don't. Yes, it worked great. Ah, that's good to hear. Is almost free meant an irony? Lovely to hear though. Okay, so those are the buildings. Now I can just pick and choose whichever ones I need for areas. No, this one does need to be rotated the other way. What's going on? Well, my internet cut out for a little bit there, but it seems to be back now. But if I do just go away, that's you know why. All you need is a webcam, free open track software, and an Aruko card, and that you attach to a hat. I have no idea what that is. Now, I know what an Aruko card is, I just don't know what a hat is. My screen will be black. Yeah, reload. So almost free, and you need a piece of paper to print out the Aruko card on. Oh, is it a thing with the pattern on it, so that it can recognize how it's positioned and turned? You can attach it to a headband, maybe as well. Yes, and OpenTrack is programmed to recognize it. Head-mounted motion tracker. Yeah, ... I see. Okay, so maybe we can use another green building here in the corner. That's sort of this height. I'm back from the store and I have the milk. Oh. Very cheap box, great. You may look silly, but who cares when you have head tracking? Yeah, who cares if you look silly while you're being tracked? Think about it that way. Okay, that... I think that needs to be moved over slightly. Maybe put one of these in here as well. I think there were also other downtown shop assets. I'll quickly search for downtown and see if I can find any good assets for that. It's not like you're being filmed or... Like, it's not like you're being filmed or not, I think. Do they make a spline of buildings that could follow a curve of road? There are some. There are the city... Like, for example, if I look here, city, the cityscape ones, which look like that, which could be good for distance, like if things that are quite far away. And you've got these ones, which are quite old, but they could, like for example, if I did want this to feel like a much bigger, like a city, I could just have these placed like that-ish, and that could work quite well, but then this would be a really large area, which I don't really want. I want there to be more residential stuff up there. Then there are a few in this kind of group. You can see some smaller ones as well. Yeah, but those two repeat. You can use my technique in Chicago and use city block. Is that an asset, or do you mean copy paste a thing? Can you elaborate on that, please? Object? Oh, these city blocks, you mean? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is with space. Yeah, but those are straight, and pretty much all of my roads are on a curve, so they would poke through. Most of the time, anyway. Although I suppose, well, yeah, plus it's on an incline as well. I could put something down like that. Actually, that doesn't look too bad like this. Especially if you look at it from down here. Like if you go up close, then yeah, you can see that there's a gap there. It doesn't follow the curve, and you've got this buried in the ground and stuff like that. But if you're just looking at it from down here, that does actually look quite nice. Thank you for that tip. Right. I will no longer have to use a hat switch to look left and right while crossing an intersection. A hat switch. Right. Okay. Thing is, I do also want the downtown area to kind of end like pretty much there, so that I can have houses and things like that. At least that's what the plan is at the moment. That's too small. Yeah, but here it really doesn't work that well, I think. But maybe if you... Maybe if I rotated it a little bit like that. Code Monkey, hello, welcome! Yeah, a little playing around and you can get it right. Better have it all buried than half buried, half floating. True. I've heard of these. My head tracking hat is a new hat switch. Is my new hat switch. Thinks he's James Bond with switches in his hat. Most US towns and cities are set up on a square grid of city blocks and only had curved roads in some residential areas. True, but here I really want the town to follow the natural curve of this mountainous hill here, this mountain basically, so that it comes in from under here and then follows left along up this little valley there. So it kind of follows the contour line around like that. Which, I mean, it may be a little... It might not be very typical, but I like the way that it looks, and so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so what else do I need to put in? Well, do I want... Yeah, I want some... I want some more of these buildings along here. Although that one's a bit too wide. That one might be a little too short, but this one could work for this bit, perhaps. We created that city block was name pool, the leftmost one, the leftmost building. What do you mean? Oh, you mean this one here? Perhaps. Large grey one. I'll have to have another look. I think these are the ones that are these the ones that are also used on the Coleman Mountains Railroad? Maybe? Nah, I don't like this one back here. I need to have something taller back here. Also, you meant this one, I take it, so a name on here. Yes, that. Which you wrote before I showed it, yeah. Yeah, so I do need something a bit taller there, because I want you to be able to see it from down where the tracks are, to know that there actually is town back here. Pretty much me just placing buildings. Yeah, so something like that. Although those might be a little too tall. Maybe if I move these into the ground a bit. Oh, maybe like that. Creating a nice little stepped effect could work. Like that, perhaps. Yeah, I quite like that. That gives added effect of it going uphill, even though it's pretty flat there at the moment. Also, in case you weren't here on Monday, this coming Monday will be the last Minecraft episode on that world, the vanilla world. The week after, we're going to be switching to back to a modded world. So it's going to be a new world, mods, lots of mods, and I'm really looking forward to that. So if you want to catch that live, it's going to be this Monday. And you can have King Kong climb up on the buildings like the stairs. Ha ha ha. It's the end of the world. Ah, nope. The world will be preserved. Which I know doesn't sound very fun, but there you go. Wait, what's this? Ah, right, I see. So what do I actually need to put down back here? Yeah, I think I am just going to quickly put down some of these assets here if they fit vaguely. Just a little something like this. Just so if you zoom out and look at the town from further up, you can see that there is actually stuff here. Maybe we can have a parking lot or something in here. We'll have a coupon day. Right. Just like 4468. Well, in a museum at least. Wait, the what? Mallard, what do you mean? Regarding the stairs, or why? Like, what is the Mallard? Why is the Mallard relevant at the moment? Could you please elaborate? Wait, is that a UK style phone? No, it's a Coca-Cola stand. Oh, of course. Sure, it's because it's a preserved. Ah, right. Coupon day. Yeah. Coupon day. From Jurassic Park. That's what the blood-sucking leech said. because they said that they didn't want this to be a thing only for the rich. And after he said, well, we can charge whatever we want, we can charge, basically we can charge whatever we want and people will pay it to see the dinosaurs. And then he said, no, we don't want this to be something only for the rich, this is something that the whole world deserves to see. And they said something like, well, we can have a coupon day. Right, I gotcha. So, in count, how many mods are there going to be in your Minecraft server or whatever? Well, over 9,000? Well, 8,000. No. Hold on. Let me quickly see. So, there are going to... So, with all the dependencies... So, this isn't all featured mods. And by that I mean... So there's a difference between mods that add gameplay features and mods that are only dependencies like libraries or things like that. So all in all, both feature mods and library mods and things like that, the number is 58. But a lot of them are just very small things. And I have taken out quite a lot of the larger mods because of performance reasons. Okay. The full list of mods will be made available when we actually start playing with them. Okay, is that good? I think that's good for the downtown area. And then we put housing on the outside. How many my fam is talking and I didn't hear you? More than 57, yes. What version is it going to be? Gotta make sure I have that one downloaded and installed. It's 1.12.2. So before we start with that, so the process of how this is going to work is, firstly, you're going to have to. I mean, I'll make a little step-by-step walkthrough of how to get it all installed. The way that it works is you are firstly going to have to install Java if you don't already have it installed on your computer. Then you're going to have to install the Minecraft 1.12.2 via the launcher and go into Minecraft, into that Minecraft version, load it into the main menu, just for it to create all the files that it needs. Then I'm going to share the Minecraft Forge installer with you, which is the mod loader. That's just another installation file that you'll need to run once. Then after that's run, load into Minecraft again, which will be from the launcher Minecraft 1.12.2 Forge, the installation. Then after that, all you need to do is move the whole list of mods that I'll give you. Just move those files into the mods folder and move the config files into the config folder, and that's it. So, like I said before, I can't share those mods publicly because I don't have permission to do so, but there will be a download link if anyone's watching and wants to play with the mods themselves. There will be a web page with all the download links to the different CurseForge pages and things like that. So, yeah. Trainz, will you tell the other players the mod count 2 next Monday? I don't think so. I don't want to scare them off. But no, I will have to tell them at some point. Maybe a step-by-step guide could be good for the group DM. Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's what I said. I still have 1.12.2 installed from the last time you and Kango were playing. Yeah. Although, you said that you had... Or was that you? I thought you said that you had a lot of different mods installed from just other mods. from when you were playing before. Because, not in Minecraft. Oh, that was Transport Fever 2, right. Yes, I knew it was something with mods. Yeah, it was, yeah, that's fine. So then, wait, when you save, you still have 1.12.2 installed from before. Does that mean you also have Forge installed? Because you may have to reinstall Forge, because some of the mods might need an updated version of it or something like that. So it might be a good idea to reinstall Forge just from the beginning. Just do it straight away to save time. Wasn't it me with my ATS mods? Well, that too, yes, definitely. But yeah, I am really looking forward to that. I think the mod that I'm going to focus on first when we get started with that is probably going to be immersive engineering, which allows you to make well, power plants, power generators, or water wheels, or windmills. It's not a mill if it's not producing anything, so I guess just wind wheels. Wind turbines, but it's not a turbine. Anyway, you know what I mean. Or thermal heaters or things like that. And then you can use that electricity to power all sorts of fancy machinery. Although, before we get started, most of the mods in the mods list are mods that I already have a little bit of knowledge about, at least how to get started in them. Because, well, I obviously picked them and I play tested them, but I do want to refresh my knowledge a little bit before we get started, so that when questions arise, like for example, what does it mean by a runestone? How does one make a runestone? That I can then hopefully tell you what that is. Although I can't make any promises. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Although those houses do look tiny compared to the buildings over here. I think I'm going to replace this, or actually no, I'm going to move this building down so that it's not as big of a height difference there. Even though you're not really going to see that anyway. Hold on. Maybe something like that. Maybe. Maybe. Right. All the mods you had that time. Think Forge is still installed too. Yeah, although actually, thinking about it, no, you don't have to reinstall Forge, thinking about it, because I remember that I used, when I put these mods together, I was still using the same installation of Forge. So you should actually be good about that. So you wouldn't have to install that. So you just have, so all you would have to do is empty out your mods folder, copy in the mods that I'll send you, and also replace a few of the config files in the config folder, and then you're good to go, because you've already installed the other things. Nice. I hope everyone will be able to run all the mods. It should be fine. If we're able to run the mods on Mac via a virtual machine, or on a Mac that is from late 2015, I think most people, pretty much everybody, should be able to run them. Although I do want to have a a quick test, just after the installation, just connecting to the server, just to make sure that everybody can in fact connect and there aren't any weird issues maybe with graphics drivers or things like that, which could be a thing that happens. Yeah, I do want to have that before the stream, maybe a couple days before or something like that. But that's still over a week away. Right. Fun fact, the Chevrolet Bison, as seen in Mud Runner, American Wilds, and the GMC General are work in progress projects coming to ATS at some point in the same package too. Nice. What's up? Hey, the ceiling, the roof and space, the roof, the sky. Yeah. Man, the food is really good. Well, I'm glad that it doesn't just taste good, but that it actually is good. Or rather, on Windows, which is running on macOS via virtual machine on a Mac from late 2015, yes. Dun, 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 dun. It is actually quite nice working on a town where most of the buildings are quite a bit away from the tracks, because it means that I'm actually able to make quite a lot of progress here quite quickly, because I don't have to really worry about the houses floating or being buried or things like that, because you're really only going to see them from so far away. I was thinking of getting an Alienware of setup or laptop. I've heard of the company, but I don't know if the products are good or not or anything like that. So I wish you the best of luck with any purchases you may or may not end up making. $2015? That is old in computer years. Kind of like a dog years. True. But yeah, late 2015. True. But the thing is, that if you use the computer in a way that if you don't turn the hard drive on and off a lot, like if you leave the computer running or in sleep mode or whatever, actually I'm not sure about sleep, but if you leave it running in low power settings over the night and things like that, then the hard drive doesn't stop and have to restart, which apparently does wonders for its longevity. I don't know. I think I'm going with a laptop. Sure. But what's not broken shouldn't be fixed. Well, depends. In some instances, that's true. In others, being content with what you have can lead to stagnation. And so you should try to improve, even if things aren't technically broken. Anywhere is mostly just paying for the name since they got bought out by Dell. Yeah, I don't follow all that stuff. I mean, I do follow what you're saying, as in I comprehend it, but I don't keep up with news in those topics too much. Yeah. Because if you think about it, we're all different people.